Marine electronics have come a long way in the past couple of decades. I remember when I got my first boat, it had a paper sounder on it. Compared to top-of-the-line units like this, that old paper sounder was like Stone Age technology. The neat thing about the new breed of marine electronics is that they allow you to customize the screens to your particular requirements, and they also enable you to become a much better fisherman by giving you the tools you need to find the fish and then to mark the ground where fish might be living. There's a few things, however, that you need to know. It's not just a chance of plug and play. If you're going to get the best out of your sounder and GPS unit, you've really got to work with it and learn how to drive it properly. One of the key things with sounders is that you learn to manipulate the gain or sensitivity of the unit. Now, most of them have got an auto setting. This one's set on auto now, but if you tweak that gain a bit, increase the sensitivity. Now, we're in pretty shallow water here, so you don't go too crazy with it. But you start to see a lot more detail than when it's running on auto. Things that were not really showing up, you know, these little dots and blobs here, if you increase the gain, they're becoming more significant. Now they're not particularly interesting because I don't think they're fish. Fish would come up as a red signal. Red in colour sounders means a strong return. So if you're out fishing and you see a big red blob mid-water, that's usually a pretty good indication there's a bait school there. Distinct red arches on the bottom, that's things like kingfish and snapper. If you see long red lines, especially in deep water out on the shelf, a long red line moving along usually means a big fish like maybe a marlin or a tuna or something like that. So you've got to learn to drive your unit. Adjusting the gain is one way to really maximise the unit's potential. There's no point just driving along with a nice clean screen like that. It looks pretty good, but it's not showing you what you need to know. You need to know a lot of detail, and the key to the gain is to manipulate it so that it's almost giving you too much information, and then just bring it back a little bit, and then you get your best resolution. The other key thing with modern sounders is they allow you to utilise the data that you want. Now, I like to have the speed that I'm going at. I like to have the RPM of my engine, because you can link your engine in with your marine electronics now by Enemy A2000. I like to have the position. I like to have the depth. I like to have the battery. It's very important, I feel, to have a good idea that your battery's nice and strong. And then down here I also like to have another depth reading, the water temp, which is really important if you're a keen fisherman, and then your frequency of your transducer. Shallow water like I'm in now, 200 kilohertz is fine. You get out to a couple of 100 meters of water, you'd swap over, you'd switch over to 50 kilohertz. That's going to give you a much better performance in that deeper water. Now, modern units like this, a lot of them now are actually multi-purpose units, so that they have GPS charts on them. This one here, I've set it up so that I've got my sounder and my GPS chart. Then you've got other things like radar and navigation and info. Info's the Enemy A2000 connection to your engine I was talking about a little while ago. I don't have radar set up on this boat, so I don't need it, but you know, it's there if you need it. If you go back to your chart there, the great benefit of the modern units like this Simrad are that they are far more quicker than the old clunky units of even 5 or 10 years ago. So you can zoom in and out seamlessly. You know, I'm zooming in there, getting down to 100 meters, 50 meters, 10 meters, and then if you want to zoom back out again, it's just a matter of pressing it down, and it's just fantastic. There's no delays or anything like that. Really amazing technology. So the key to these sort of units is that you need to spend the time learning how to drive them. You read the manual, you play with them on the water. It's not just a matter of buying a unit, whacking it in your boat, and then never touching it again. To get the best out of this sort of technology, you've got to drive it. And if you drive it, you're going to catch more fish.